Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the final race of the weekend for the DTM Trophy. It is round 5, but it's race 10 of the season. We are here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, and as you can see, I can finally say it, ladies and gentlemen, it's a gloriously sunny day here in the Ardennes forest. The clouds are in the sky, but there is no sign of rain in sight. We will have a dry track for racing, as you see a beautiful shot here, not only of the pit lane, but you see all of our DTM Trophy cars as well. The number 63 then of Jacob Regal, who will start on the front row. And I tell you what, he's a very smiley young man, but I saw a smile from ear to ear from him earlier on when he got onto the front row. And what sort of pace will he have in terms of the race? Here's Moritz Lohner. Not had the best of weekends, says Moritz. And again, he was very honest on his Instagram post, saying it's all on me this weekend. There's nothing more to say, and he's got to go and prove himself today. Fair play to him. That's the kind of guy he is. He wants to get on with it. He always wants to improve, but he will also hold himself accountable. Very, very rare from such a young driver. He's on P8 on the grid, starts on the 4th row. Henkefen, who did Karasani a big favour yesterday by managing to overtake Tim Heinemann and take some points away from the championship leader, but unfortunately, all those points were given back because Tim Heinemann did indeed take pole position today. So it was 39 points coming into the weekend. Now Tim Heinemann leads Colin Karasani by 40. Surprise of qualifying, really. Fulgencio, P6. But not only is it a surprise, he actually looked good the whole session. So it wasn't really a fluke lap or anything like that. He was just very, very fast. He's figured out Spa. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. Represented BWT Muka Motorsport. He starts from P5. Big chance today. And there is Theo Overhaus. Started from pole position yesterday, finished second in the race. He's had an incredible year this year. Done a lot of big races. Raced in a Spa 24-hour. Raced in DTM, the youngest ever driver. Led the DTM race, youngest ever driver to lead. An incredibly talented young man. He will start P4. Let's talk about Daniel Gregor then. The number 25, the German, 16 years old, became a DTM Trophy winner yesterday for the first ever time. But he is the form driver on the grid. Between him and Tim Heinemann, they are the form drivers. But with the ballast on board for Daniel Gregor, can he continue his podium run? 3 in a row currently. There's Jacob Regal. Again, Mr. Smiley today. Shake of hands. Best team on the grid in terms of social media, that's for sure. The way they market themselves as well. Now it's about getting those race results. And Regal has positioned himself in a perfect position to indeed do that. And all of the race starts we had this weekend, the outside line, to be honest, has been the more favourable one. So it will be interesting to see how it goes down in towards turn number 1. DTM Trophy without this man. Is it really DTM Trophy? Tim Heinemann and number 90 for the Toyota Gazoo Racing Germany, powered by Ring Racing. Yes, it is the longest team name in the history of motorsport. He does start on pole position. He does lead the championship as well, but he's still skeptical. He still thinks he's going to struggle to be able to get this car into P1, although everybody else on the grid seems to think he will finish in P1. Tim Heinemann then is on 156 points coming into today. Karasani then is on 118. We've got Theo Overhaus then on 97. Vivacqua is on 92. So those two really needing big points. Daniel Gregor is on 69. We've then got Kauhalper, who is on 66. Henkefen on 61. 55 then for Nick Hanke. Almeida and Regal round out your top 10. A big day here, really, for Overhaus, Vivacqua. If they really want to be in the championship hunt with 4 races to go this season, I feel like they need to at least get a podium, but more than likely have to go out and win this race. For Daniel Gregor, it is win or bust, effectively. He has to continue this podium form. He has to continue winning races. It was just such a poor start to the season, unfortunately, for so many different reasons. But he is starting to put it right. But is it a little bit too little, too late? We're about to find out. As the Red Bull truck with the DJ music out there, setting the tone. Everyone having a little boogie. Lots of smiles on the grid. It's like we've had no rain at all this weekend. Finally, sunny in the sky, blue skies above, and there's no sign of any moisture in the air. Many fans still in the stands as well. Many fans still in the paddock. There's been so many people around this weekend. There's Nick Hanke's dad. We went round the Nordschleifer in his car. He let us borrow the car a couple of weeks ago. A lovely man. Huge, huge fan of his son, of course. And there is Jacob Riegel, Nick Hanke's teammate, the number 63. Final conversations are happening as we pan then on to the car of the form man of the championship as it stands between him and Tim Heinemann, really. Can he go 4 podiums in 4 races? Daniel Gregor, the young man, has got that 25 kilograms of ballast for winning yesterday's race on board. Is that enough to stop him, though? Really has turned a corner, seems to be maturing as the season's going on. And for such a young driver performing at such a high level, are we going to see one more spectacle here at Spa from him? Everybody watching around the world then, if you're watching on television, you can tweet me or send me a message on Instagram at @ActroVision. But if you're on YouTube right now, on the UK broadcast and you can hear me, of course, let me know where you're watching from around the world. Spam those flags before we do indeed embark upon our formation lap. 3.5 minutes to go before we do indeed go to the formation lap. And then it is a 30-minute timed race plus 1 lap. Yesterday there were some incredible overtakes, most notably for the podium on the final lap. Thiago Vivacqua in the middle sector through the S's, making a delicious move around the outside of Nick Hanke. I spoke to Nick this morning and he was devastated, but I had to remind him that it takes 2 to tango to have an exceptional battle on circuit. They both respectfully rubbed doors, but it was just a really nice exchange between 2 very respectful and very fast drivers. Will we see more of that kind of action today? We are very close to indeed finding out. We've got Trippy watching from France. We've got Darkus Racing watching from Miami. Karasani versus Heinemann. Karasani, big day today. Qualifying, unfortunately, did not go to plan. They crossed the line 1 second after the checker flag had come out on their final fast run. I think Karasani has the pace here, or had the pace to be pole position. I genuinely believe that. I also believe Karasani from P9 has the pace to go out there and win this race. He's got Henkefend in front of him, which could be a blessing. Henkefend, is he going to be able to help him today? I think Henkefend will play the team game today. These two are very, very close, actually. So I think we might see Henkefend play a major role in this. So can Karasani get through the pack? We've got Tim then watching from Germany. Mike from Norfolk supporting Teo, nice. Pavel watching from Poland, welcome. Matilda supporting Daniel Gregor. Harko, of course, supporting Sophie Hoffman. Vira watching from Germany. South Africa there for Avzal. Matilda, you're watching from Denmark, nice. We've got a Folev fan as well. Sterian Folev, lovely guy indeed. Here we go then. Going to get that 1 minute board up upon us as the final team members do indeed step off of the race circuit. 18 drivers taking part today. We are about to get involved. If we have a race that was maybe 50% of what we had yesterday, we're in for a cracker. Could it be better? Since the Norris Ring, these drivers have really, really upped their game. Everybody on the grid, they're all quicker. They're all much more aware. They've raced each other now. They know each other's tendencies. But more importantly, the respect levels for each other is massive. Will that trend continue? Jack from Cologne, supporting Toyota. Beautiful city. Tony Louise supporting Ricky Capo, Mum, Dad, Bruno, and Tony themselves. Oh, hello to the Capo family. G'day. Make sure you throw another shrimp on that Barbie. Here we go then. It's time to get rolling here for the formation lap. It will be Tim Heinemann. It will be Jacob Riegel to take us away. And then on that second row, we've of course got Daniel Gregor and Theo Overhaus. Here we go. Time to warm those tyres up. And the beauty of today is they've got 2 fresh sets of slick tyres to use today, because yesterday they used wet tyres for the entirety. So they did not use any of those slicks. So that means they can qualify on one set and they can indeed race on another. Karasani actually put his second set on the car for a flying lap at the end of the session, so he has got a lap on those tyres. How that will affect the race, I'm not too sure. They will be bedded in a little bit better to start off with, but they will go off a little bit faster as well. So over the top of Eau Rouge on this formation lap. And the track temperature is at its warmest of the weekend so far. It has gone from being in a very modest sort of 14-degree temperature, air temperature here in the Ardennes forest, to now, for me, being from the UK, feeling like I'm in Malaga in mid-July. So there's your track map, ladies and gentlemen. 3 sectors, of course, just a smidgen over 7 kilometers long, 19 corners, and while Tim Heinemann produced a 2:33.786 in changeable conditions earlier on. So it wasn't a full dry track. It was pretty dry, but it wasn't a full dry track. So expect the times to be a lot faster during this race. Elisa supporting Ricky Capo as well. Tony confirming that there will be a barbecue, which is always good to hear. See plenty of people around the circuit getting an incredible vantage point. So many people have stuck around for the DTM Trophy today as well, and they are going to be in for an absolute treat. It's a guarantee. So merely half a lap to go here, and it will be up to Heinemann and Riegel to take them away, waiting for those green lights to appear upon the start-finish straight, and it's race time. So Tim Heinemann currently leads the championship here by 38 points. So it's 38 points. Theo Overhaus is 21 points behind Colin Karasani. So Overhaus looking to try and get into second spot. Had a chat with him earlier. He thinks that there's only really second up for grabs. But a couple of bad races from Heinemann and it can all change around. But you've also got to factor in that Heinemann has got the experience. Won the first season ever of the DTM Trophy, the inaugural season in 2020. Heading through Blanchimont. And the safety car will indeed pull over. And who is going to take full advantage of it being sunny conditions? They've not had any practice in this weather, so it could go anywhere. Anyone could indeed adapt the quickest here. They have got no reference in terms of practice laps. So Tim Heinemann, Jacob Riegel, that's your front row. Through the bus stop chicane we go. Now they're heading on to that start-finish straight. So here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. Waiting for those green lights. It's race number 10 of the season for the DTM Trophy 2022. Heinemann, Riegel, green light racing. Here we go. 4, 5 wide in the background. And Riegel has got an incredible start here. But look at Heinemann. Heinemann trying to close the door on anyone else trying to advance up the inside. And can Riegel go all the way around the outside? Overhaus already making up one position here. Bit of a slide there from Almeida as well. And off into the gravel we go. Henkefeldt in the gravel. Who else was with him there? It's not Karasani, is it? I don't think it was Karasani. We'll have to have a look at that once again, but I think it might be Mark De Fulgencio that's kind of coming together. An incredible qualifying session today, and there's a BWT car in the background smoking as well, so you want to hope that they're all good as we come then along that Camel Straight. And the top-end speed is what Tim Heinemann was worried about, but he's got such a good exit up over Eau Rouge, so it's not going to matter, but it looks like we have got a safety car here, so there will be a restart. And well, a chance for us to dissect what has just happened there. So the front drivers all got away lovely, but then in the background, or in the mid-pack actually, there was a little bit of contact, and unfortunately that is too, well, there we go, you can see the cars now. Fulgencio and Henkefeldt, they are out of this race. So not ideal at all. They managed to get through turn number 1, and well, they went through the exit of turn number 1 as well. So a very short race, a very short-lived race then for both drivers. And such a huge shame. Here we go. So we're going to see the restart here. Heinemann, you can see, trying to sort of almost time the green lights here to try and get a bit of a run because he's so worried about the top-end speed of the Toyota this weekend. And he just gets it to perfection. Regal not really able to do too much there. You can see that Heinemann pulls over to the left as soon as he possibly can because he's so worried about cars making it up the inside. By the way, Gregor lost 2, 3, maybe 4 positions. And you can see Henkefen then just in behind Almeida. Looks like Folev nearly got involved there. Oh, I'll tell you what, no, they've both gone across the bonnet of Karasani. Poor Karasani is the meat in the sandwich there. I'm not sure, there's nowhere he can go. And unfortunately, he's just kept the foot down, and they've both just come together, kissed noses, so they went straight across Karasani's bonnet. So that's exactly what's happened there. It's a racing incident. There's not much you can do about that. The only person that knows it's 3 wide realistically is the middle car. And yeah, there we go. So Karasani's just caught in the middle. And they've both tried to find a bit of room that isn't there, and they've both ended up across the bonnet, and off the circuit they go. So a full course safety car, as Fulgencio's car will be taken off by the Manitou first. And yeah, massively unfortunate for sure. So it looks like we're going to go through the pit lane, actually. Makes sense, of course. But I tell you what, the driver that's made the most ground here, 5 position gain, is Ricky Capo. So Ricky Capo, out of nowhere, is up into P7. Karasani, even though there's 2 drivers who were ahead of him, who've ended up in the gravel, he's now still in P9. Wow, very interesting indeed. So you can see on the graphic there, they're all coming through the pits. So Heinemann's P1, Regal is indeed P2. But Uverhaus then has moved up 1 position in P3. Lona, by the way, P4. It's gone right up the order then from 8th position. Almeida then is in P5. Gregor's dropped down to 6th position. We've then got Capo, who's in 7th position. And realistically, should have a bit more pace than his teammate ahead of him because he's got no ballast on the car. Hanker is in P8, Folev into a top 10, Papadopoulos into a top 10, Patamba in 11th. Then we've got Wallace in 12th, Hoffman in 13th position, Kalhalper is in 14th, Vivacqua, well, is going to come out the pits, I'm sure. And Karasani, well, no, hold on. Karasani, it says P16, and there's a pit sign next to his name. Karasani might have damage from that contact then, because he has not reappeared, has he? Karasani, maybe, coming up towards Radion. No, he is done. So Karasani is in the pits here, and the day has gone from bad to worse, unfortunately. And with 2 cars effectively becoming a hood ornament on his car, something has definitely give here. And there's nothing he could do. Nothing he could have done about that situation. He's tried to give room on the outside. He's trying to give room on the inside. And then the 2 other cars have just pinched. They're trying to figure out what's going on. You can see that they're frantically working here, trying to see if we can get the car back out onto the circuit. It is a safety car, so you know if the car could come out in the next sort of 30 seconds, maybe to a minute, could still probably go and actually catch up to the pack. But I think they're struggling to get that wheel off. I think that might be what the issue is here. Oh, there we go. So off we go. Loads of stuff stuck to the wheel. And Karasani is now embarking upon a last to first challenge with 25 minutes left of this race. I would imagine the safety car isn't going to be out too long either. Yeah, it's not ideal. First corner, 2.5 casualties, if you like, because Karasani will get back out there. But yeah, gutted for Karasani. Nothing he could have done. Yeah, he's probably going to end up losing a lap now. Or is he coming out? Well, there we go. Ooh, nearly. He nearly took out one of his teammates. And out we come. So Karasani is going to be a fair chunk of change behind. And what he needs here, really, is 1 more lap for the safety car. And he needs to go and drive off. So not ideal in the slightest here. So safety car is coming in this lap. Karasani's going to get going, but you're going to see on the right-hand side of your screen, very soon they will be coming up towards the start-finish line. So Karasani effectively, as much as he needs another safety car basically to catch up to the back of the pack, but yeah, it's a really unfortunate day for him. Currently second in the championship. Uverhaus with a big chance, who is third right now, with a chance to maybe go up into P2 if he gets the race victory here. But you've got to feel for Colin. It's been 2 weekends in a row to forget. Safety car coming in. And there's 23 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. So can Heinemann get just as good a start? Can Regal time it a bit better this time round? Waiting for those green lights to appear once again. It's the second start for this race. The first restart here after a safety car. We are green light racing here once again. Batamba, by the way, in the background, in number 17, has got an absolute flyer of a start. But look at Teo Uverhaus up the inside of Jacob Regal. Tim Heinemann then hard on the brakes here. Uverhaus trying to go up the inside. He's absolutely got it done here. He is going to be in P2, but Regal actually around the outside gets a bit of gravel there. But I feel like as we go up towards Radion, he is not going to be able to stick that nose in. So as we come up towards Radion, Anneau Rouge, you've got to be careful here, Uverhaus. You're not going to make it too wide there, that's for sure. Heinemann, though, the wily old fox, was leaving room, but ultimately has a nice clear run as we go then onto that Camel Straight. The BMW is trying to just, well, not get the best run, unfortunately, but not even worried about being in the slipstream here of that Toyota. It feels like maybe they just have the outright pace anyway. Tim Heinemann was worried about pace in a straight line. He had nothing to worry about here because he is streaking away. About half a second of an advantage now to Uverhaus. Regal needs to figure stuff out. Yesterday, Hanke was in P3 for the entirety of the race until the final lap, and Regal now finds himself in that very position as well. Moritz Lohner, what a start he's had to this race then. He's moved right up the order here. You've also got Almeida, Hanke, Gregor, Papadopoulos, who's just dropped back actually. Capo managed to get up ahead. I don't know how Capo managed to get behind him. Maybe it was he was behind him already at the safety car and he had to give up the position. I'm sure he was in 7th position. But as it stands then, Tim Heinemann streaking away here through the middle sector. He looks so fast already today. What was he worried about? Maybe he was bluffing here. As there's Papadopoulos in that Bumblebee, number 21. Running all the way down towards the S's. As Colin Karasani has literally just come past the start-finish line. He is so far behind. Unfortunately, it's just a weekend to forget. So here's the number 18, Cal Halpern, trying to get involved here with Vivacqua. Vivacqua did not qualify well today, finds himself massively out of position, and he actually just lost that position as well there. So Cal Halpern is going to make it up into what will be P14 now. And actually, no, up to P12. Hoffman's dropped down behind Fowler, Vivacqua and Cal Halpern. But yeah, it's P12 then for the Mercedes driver. Wallace up to 11th spot, just in behind Batamba. Batamba, right from the back of the grid, has managed to make it all the way up into P10 as it stands. Could be a points finish then for the South African. Papadopoulos currently in P9, could be a points finish there for the American. So a few drivers here springing some surprises and consistently making work of this. As you can see, there's a potential move then being made on Nick Hanke by Daniel Gregor. And has Gregor got the run here? No, he does not. He pushes Hanke off the circuit there ever so much. You can see Ricky Capo trying to get involved with his teammate down in towards La Source they will come. And I think Gregor might be boxed in here. And has Capo got the job done? No, he has not. Into the gravel then Gregor will go. He'll be slow in a straight line, but his exit's not the greatest either. And Capo will not be able to pull out alongside here, I'm pretty sure of it, although he does actually go for this here. He's got the inside line as they come up towards Radion, Upper Rouge, and I tell you what, they are still going to go side by side. There is contact between the two of them. Off the circuit, they both go. Gregor definitely gained an advantage there. I think Capo might have done as well. And Papadopoulos will be on the radio right now for sure going, hold on. They definitely cut the top there. Keller have those positions, but I tell you what, it's not going to matter here because he's going to try and get it himself anyway. In behind Capo he goes, pulls out wide, tries to open up Lecom. Not quite alongside enough here. Meanwhile, while that's going on, you can see the Hanke is just driven away. He's got now a second and a bit advantage over these drivers. We've also got then Almeida, Lohner, Regal, Uverhaus, and then Heinemann. Heinemann at 1.3 seconds up the road. Batamba looking super quick as well. He's closing in on this group of drivers. Well, we are seeing battles for points all over the show right now. So yeah, so through the bus stop chicane we will come. Gregor trying to make the move there on Nick Hanke. Hanke runs off the circuit there. He wasn't really given much choice either. Comes back on. So I'm not sure that would be punished, but who knows? We'll find out, I guess. But I tell you what a restart it was from Tim Heinemann. Streaking away. Regal got caught out entirely there. Teo Uverhaus then makes the move up the inside, looking to add another race victory to his very impressive resume at 17 years old. But yeah, Heinemann, just doing what Heinemann does. He is an exceptionally talented driver, and we for sure will be hearing a lot more from him over the course of the next 10, 20 years, that's for sure. Of course, winner from our inaugural championship in 2020, in dominating fashion as well. We had 4 races to go and he'd already won the championship. That's how good he was in season number 1. Season number 2, he won't really want to talk about that, but this season he's come back fighting, and the gap now just over 2 seconds between the front 2. You see Gregor, Capo all running out wide through Blanchimont. As we come then through the final chicane, the real interesting battle here is Almeida, Lona, and indeed Regal, as Patamba is under a little bit of pressure here from Wallace. This is for the final points paying position. Wallace tries to have a nibble up the inside. Patamba closes the door. Then they're both slow out of the bus stop chicane. And now you can see the Cowhelper, who's been making positions up this entire race as it stands, is going to get the move done on Jordan Wallace. He does, and now he's got one more driver to get through before he can move up towards that top 10. So here's the replay then of the 2 Kuss Team Bernard drivers. And these 2 have been battling like this for the last sort of 3 or 4 races where they've been allowed to race. They've been very respectful, and it's been close to coming undone, but they just both leave each other the perfect amount of room there. Ooh, Gregor squeezed Capo. I think Capo might have a bit of a cause to complain for that. But if you're going to go through Radeon and Eau Rouge side by side, you've got to be expecting some sort of contact. It's not really built for side-by-side action, if we're completely honest. So as we come then onto the Camel Straight, Gregor does indeed hold on, and as you can see, the gap now is maybe just under a second between the 2, so he's managed to find himself a bit of time from his teammate. Nick Hanke wants to get involved. He would love to get his hands on a podium trophy. He is definitely closing in on Almeida. He's definitely closing in on Lona. Very good friends with Lona is Nick Hanke as well, so it'd be nice to see them have a little ding-dong. Papadopoulos there running off into the dirt in P9 again, showing great signs of improvement is Alexandre. He's just found something over the last couple of weeks and he's just clicked. And he's battling for points week on, week out. Look at this group closing up. Regal, Lona, Almeida. Regal's got a little bit of breathing room to work with, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. I think Hanke will be trying to close the gap on all of these. The quickest, by the looks of things right now, is Almeida. So Almeida very close to the rear wing of that BMW, the medium-marked red and white of Moritz Lona. But is there an opportunity to make an overtake? We know that the AMGs do get faster as the race goes on, especially through the corners, maybe lack a little bit in terms of straight line speed. You see the Aston Martin closing up here through Blanchimont. We will come. Is there an opportunity here for Nick Hanke? How late do you want to go on the brakes? Not late enough. Car 99 and car 25 switch positions. So Hanke and Daniel Gregor have got to switch positions. So that is not ideal here at all. So Hanke's looking to go forward in this race, and now he's got to drop back and give Gregor the position up. So that was from the exchange where he ran off the circuit. I'm not sure he was left too much of a choice there, but that's why I'm not a race director. I'm here just to talk about it. Still the lead then for Heinemann. 3 seconds now the advantage. Very impressive indeed. A race win here might be one hand on that trophy. Still 4 races to go, so anything can happen, but it might just be one hand. It's a huge step here, of course. 3 points for qualifying as well. And Tim Heinemann is looking very, very good indeed. So you can see the Hanke is dropping back. He just doesn't want to lose too much time. Gregor's too far behind, really. As you can see here, Patamba holding on to that final points-paying position. Cowhelper eyeing up that final points-paying position. And I tell you what, I would love to see Patamba finally score some points on a weekend when, to be honest, he's not really felt it. He feels like he's not at one with the car. He struggled. He wasn't here for free practice 1. He didn't make it in time. Free practice 2, he got 3 corners in practice, and then the car, unfortunately, wasn't working properly. So to see Patamba get himself a point today, that would be a hell of a story for sure. So Nick Hanke's given a position up then to Gregor. Down towards Pouon they come, and he's going to try and retake this spot as soon as he possibly can. And as it, well, look, you can look from here, it looks like he's got a lot more pace than that Porsche in front. So can he get that job done? in towards the S's we will come. And this is a very tough place to make overtakes. Doesn't generally happen, especially in the dry. Gregor has been given a bit of a freebie here. So Moritz Lohner has cut the circuit. Tim Heinemann then cut the circuit. Normally they only show you that if there's going to be some sort of penalisation for it. But Moritz, yeah, he wasn't really under any sort of pressure. Oh, and actually, no, we're seeing it. We're seeing the overtake from Hanke. So he's got the advantage by cutting the circuit, and that's why he's received a penalty. I see now, I understand. So he overtook Gregor via running off the circuit. There's a couple of other drivers there that also did the same. So very interesting indeed. Cal Halper, by the way, has got past Pitamba, but he's got a black and white flag as well. So needs to be very careful indeed here. As we run then down in towards La Source. Nick Hanke gave the position up, but now not really putting too much pressure on retaking it. Moritz Lohner closing up to Jacob Riegel. Can he find himself on that podium? 0.6 of a second between the two. Hanke flashing the lights, saying, "Aye, I'm behind you." Well, he knows. He knows you have to let him by, remember. Down towards Radion. 3.9 seconds the lead now for Heinemann. Overhaus not really able to close that gap, but he's managed to gap Riegel. So Riegel's not able to get the toe over here, but look at this. Hanke right up in behind Daniel Gregor. Gregor with that ballast, of course, because he won yesterday. He's got that success ballast on the car. Hanke is indeed going to pull out wide here. Gregor is going to force him as wide as possible. Late on the brakes then for the Aston Martin, not as late as the Porsche. The Porsche then is going to run wide here, and Nick Hanke's got to try and go around the outside and have the inside line then through the next corner, down the hill, through the right-hander. It's a brilliant bit of work from both of them here. Gregor does indeed run wide in the end, but Nick Hanke, that's brilliant stuff there on the receiving end of an incredible overtake yesterday, and well, puts that right today there with one of his own. Brilliant stuff there from both these drivers. You can see Gregor just runs ever so slightly wide, carrying a bit too much speed, but that was so well read there from Hanke. He had to get on the brakes a little bit too much there. You can see that's the car sliding as well because of it, trying to rotate the car with a bit too much pace, but then on the exit down in towards Bruxelles, the job was done. Just kept his nose there. That was a really nice exchange between those two drivers. So Hanke has got all the hard work to do now to chase down Almeida. So he's got past Gregor, and now he's got to chase down Almeida. Ricky Capo closing up to his teammate as well. 4 seconds the advantage between our leader and Theo Overhaus. Wow, what an interesting race we have had. 10 minutes, 55 seconds to go. Safety car earlier on where Karasani, unfortunately, was the innocent bystander of Fulgencio and Henkefeld. I'm going to say all three were innocent, to be honest, because Henkefeld had no idea it's 3 wide, neither did Fulgencio. They've both tried to find a bit of space on track, and Karasani, by being in the middle but slightly behind, they've both just driven across this bonnet, spun, and then ended off into the gravel. So it's a really, just a real massive misfortune, really, for all drivers concerned. Riegel started on the front row, dropped down into P3 early in this race, now under some severe pressure from Moritz Lohner, as we are going to indeed watch Tim Heinemann running through that final chicane. How many wheels can you get off the ground, Tim Heinemann? Yes. Comfortably leading right now. Brilliant shots there. Back on board then with Moritz Lohner, of course, a 2-time DTM esports champion. And well, Daniel Gregor's coming to a halt here. Well, what's happened here? Right in front of my commentary box, it's almost like his pit limiter's stuck on. But Daniel Gregor is in trouble here. And it's not going to be 4 podiums from 4. It looks like it might be a DNF. He's probably going to be allowed to swing off to the right here. But if that car is in a very compromising position, we might be seeing another safety car. But as you can see, I think we're safe actually from that. And that's Daniel Gregor's day over. Such a shame, running, right up the sharp end. 3 podiums in a row so far. And well, hold on, what's happened here? I think there was a little exchange between teammates there. Well, no, actually, maybe not. He's just pulled off the circuit. Capo does indeed get the position. But was there any damage from the little bit of door rubbing we saw with him and Nick Hanke? That I'm not sure of. All I know is that is race over. Is that liquid coming out from the underside of the left side of the car? No, maybe not. So that is not ideal. Less than ideal. Back onto the battle for that podium. Moritz Lohner qualified yesterday in P16. Didn't have the greatest of races, unfortunately. Today, qualified down in P8, already up to P4. Can he go one better and get onto that podium? If he can, he has to get past Jacob Riegel. Uverhaus will be enjoying this in his rearview mirror as well, thinking, well, I wouldn't mind those two battling. Let me guarantee myself a P2. But believe it or not, there is another driver in this race. It's Tim Heinemann, 5.3 seconds now up the road. Well, what can Tim Heinemann not do as they both run wide there through Blanchimont? I'm sure they're both going to be looked at for that as well. His car number 5 has also got himself a black and white flag. So Folev's got himself a black and white flag. Track limits warning for Riegel as well. I'm sure Moritz is going to get one. Yes, he does. So Moritz has got himself a warning as well for that. And the lap time deleted. But as we come then down in towards the source, lights on. There's one cloud out there covering the sun. That'll be gone very shortly, I can assure you of that. It's still Riegel's holding on. So Heinemann, 5.5 seconds. Ahead there of Uverhaus. We've then got Jacob Riegel holding on to that P3. And they've got no real pressure from behind. Gregor was one of those drivers that was behind, but unfortunately just retired from the race. And if we think about it, the car was on a little bit of a slant there, so it might have been a puncture that had happened with the car. Did run off into the gravel with the exchange with Nick Hanke. Hanke retaking a position. Vivacqua's into the pits here as well. I think Vivacqua might be retiring from this race from P14. But back up towards this podium then. Can Moritz Lohner, two-time DTM Esports champion, got himself involved in the DTM Trophy last season, continue to drive this season, and is there a podium? A few podiums already to his name, but this season hasn't been the best seasons for him. But this will be a very welcome finish if he can get onto that podium. See Ricky Capo there now in P7, in behind Nick Hanke, Almeida in P5, just up the road a little bit as well. Both these drivers running off the circuit, aren't they? So we've got a black and white flag as well for Moritz Lohner, and that will be, of course, running wide. So one more of those, and that is a time penalty. So you've got to be very, very careful indeed here. But he is absolutely flying. He's right underneath that rear wing then of Jacob Riegel. And is there an opportunity for him to make a move? Riegel's got to make this Aston Martin as wide as possible right now, as we come then all the way down to Blanchimont. 5.5 minutes to go. So 3 laps potentially remaining in this race once they next cross the line. Could potentially be 4 actually. I think it's 4 laps we're going to see after this, as they both run wide once again. Moritz Lohner wants to try and find a move up the inside, but has to go round the outside as Riegel makes his intentions well known. And I tell you what, last of the late breakers, Moritz Lohner does go round the outside, now has the inside line, and that is absolutely textbook, but Riegel's not done. Riegel is absolutely not done. Look at the straight line speed here. Look at the exit of the Riegel Gertz. They're almost touching wing mirrors down towards the source. Moritz Lohner at the last second opens up the corner. Riegel's going to drive right through here, but I tell you what, he's got the job done as it stands. But look at Moritz Lohner's exit here. Down the hill we come to Radion, and is there still an overlap for Riegel to work with? No, there is not. And Moritz Lohner sets it up through the bus stop, gets it done through La Source. And well, as we come through Radion and the Rouge, is now in a podium position. Jacob Riegel, though, is within striking distance. It's an incredible exit here as well. Wow, this is brilliant stuff from these two drivers. Does that Aston Martin have the straight line poke, though, to make something work up towards Les Combes? Stays underneath that rear wing, pulls out wide. Will go later on the brakes here, but there will be no overlap then through the second part of this chicane. Moritz Lohner's going to run a little bit wide. Will be compromised on the exit here, but it is job done. Everybody's favourite sim racer managing to get up into a podium position, and now just needs to hold on for 4 minutes. Jacob Riegel, though, he will be not furious, he'll be cool, he'll be calm, and he'll be looking to get that spot back as soon as he lost it, that's for sure. Through No Name they will come down towards Pouon. No real overtaking opportunities again with dry weather. In changeable conditions and wet weather, there's overtaking opportunities everywhere around Spa, but I'm not sure there's an overtaking opportunity with these conditions. As Moritz Lohner actually runs a little bit wide on entry through there. Slides the rear out. Tyres maybe starting to go, but Regal not able to indeed reciprocate. Superb racing though from both drivers as Moritz Lohner runs wide again. I don't think this is done, ladies and gentlemen. This battle for the podium may go on right to the death, right to the end of this race. 6 minutes remain, including that final lap after the 0 comes into play. So, of course, we finish the race at 0, and then we have 1 extra lap as well. It's Heinemann that leads by 6.5 seconds to Overhaus. Then we've got Moritz Lohner now in that podium. Jacob Regal. He's flashing those lights. I'm not sure how much of an effect that's going to have now because Moritz Lohner has found himself a lovely little gap to work with. And we've got a black and white flag there for car 47. That's Colin Karasani, and that is for track limits. We see a battle forming a little bit further behind. Nick Hanke has caught up to Almeida, and while he is looking for a top 5, Hanke has been involved in everything that's been great about this weekend's racing. Bar the Moritz Lohner and Jacob Regal. The Speed Monkeys team then have been involved in everything great about this weekend at Spa. Is there one more moment of magic from the Aston Martins? We're about to find out here. Through La Source they do indeed come. Down towards Radion. It's such a crazy hill here. Unless you're at the circuit, you cannot really put into words how steep that hill is. On TV, it just does not do it justice. And then this uphill is very much even more steep. It's such a unique circuit. And you're told this, I know I've heard commentators mention the uniqueness of this circuit time and time again. It's like, oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, until you're here, you have no idea. Nick Hanke pulls out wide then, trying to get a potential overlap as well. Doesn't really want to run into the back of that pink AMG. Trying to find a gap then on the inside. Maybe needs to be a little bit more patient here. Almeida very much struggling at this stage of the race as well on the tyres. But yeah, Hanke, if he's patient here, the move will happen, or the opportunity at least will present itself. Hopefully everybody at home is enjoying this. I'm seeing so many great comments on the YouTube chat saying amazing racing, and this championship has gone from strength to strength over the last 3 years. Some very talented drivers that you will hear a lot from over the next few decades. I can assure you that. As there's a move down towards Pouon. We haven't seen this happen yet. We have now. Brilliant stuff there from Hanke. And this Almeida trying to hang it around the outside. It's not quite going to work out. And the element of surprise, not only surprising Almeida, completely catching me off guard. And that is the first time that we have seen a move down towards Pouon this weekend. That is sensational stuff there. And everything amazing this weekend, the Speed Monkeys have been a part of. Brilliant stuff there from Hanke. And he deserves it, to be completely honest. He was so downbeat this morning because he lost that chance at a podium on the final lap yesterday. And well, he hasn't really sulked about it. He's got on with it. He's racing with a smile, and he's putting on a hell of a show. Down towards Blanchimont then, maybe for the second to last time. We have to find out exactly where Heinemann is on circuit. I think Heinemann actually might already be crossing that line. So it looks like we might have 2 more laps remaining of this race. And as soon as Hanke's got past Almeida, he is off into the distance. 6 seconds to close down if he wants another position. It's not quite going to be enough. So I think we've got 2 more laps remaining. I think Heinemann did indeed cross the line 2 seconds after the 0 happened. So it's confirmed that we've got 2 more laps remaining. And that happens from time to time. Sometimes the lead driver just crosses the line, right bang on the buzzer, and you just don't really have any idea. But it is guaranteed 2 remaining. And I've never had Nico lie to me before, so this will be a first if he's wrong. Here's the move then, flashing of the lights just to give on a bit of a show, and then just out of nowhere, and Almeida did not see that coming, did he? Tried to turn in and then realised very quickly, oh, hold it, there's an Aston Martin on my inside then. Can't turn into that car. Oh, it's brilliant. Perfectly executed there. Almeida, fair play to him, he understood the situation. That could have ended in absolute catastrophe. Both could have ended up in a wall. But yeah, superb racing. And since the Norris Ring, the DTM Trophy drivers have really taken a turn in terms of respect, and they've really learnt each other's tendencies. which happens in championships. It's just the way it is. But what about this guy? Doesn't really have to do a lot of side-by-side racing, does Tim Heinemann, because he tends to get out in the front and he tends to go out there and win races. This will be indeed 3 from 4, the last 4 races, 3 wins from the last 4 races. It'll be 5 race wins in total this season as well. And I'm genuinely been talking to him all weekend, and he has been so worried about the pace of the Toyota. He just thinks it's not quick enough around here if it was dry. He feels like the weather's really helped him in terms of the qualifying this morning. Well, he had nothing to be worried about because he's the fastest driver this weekend at this rate, and he's got the best car as well because it's winning comfortably by 5.5 seconds. Incredible performance here from Tim. And he will be going away from Spa with a massive smile on his face, as well as Teo Uverhaus. Uverhaus, such disappointment last time out, of course. I say it's bittersweet, really, isn't it? He was the youngest ever driver, or he became the youngest ever driver to race in DTM. He led a DTM race, but the fatigue and, you know, all of the press he had to do, the 2 long 1-hour races for DTM, then followed straight up with DTM Trophy. It was just a little bit too much, and I'm not sure there's anyone out there that could do that, in all fairness. So fair play to him for giving it a go. But, well, has he come back with a bang here today, proving everybody why he was given the opportunity in DTM. 17 years old, another podium in the offering as we now head on to the last lap. Tim Heinemann has got the fastest lap as well. That means it will be 26 points. And actually, it'll be 29 points out of a possible 29 today. A perfect day for Tim Heinemann. Uverhaus second, Moritz Lohner in third spot, 8th to 3rd. Ooh, that's a very, very impressive performance as well from Moritz. We then got Riegel, who's in 4th position, started 2nd on the grid. I think he'll be relatively pleased with a P4. I think he'll also be a little bit disappointed and think he could have got a bit better, but it's a P4 at the end of the day. The Speed Monkeys teams have Aston Martin on the map today with 2 top 5s as well. They've done very, very well. And wow, we've just actually had the heads up that we've got an extra lap here as well. So because of the safety car, the race has been extended. We've got 1 more lap after this. So Heinemann, yes, he is no longer on the last lap. He's got 1 more to do after this. So there is a first for everything. Nico telling me the wrong information. It is what it is. These things happen. Uverhaus second. Lohner is in 3rd. Riegel 4th. And then got Hanker in 5th. Almeida in 6th position. No real pressure from Capo. Capo is 7th there. 3 seconds ahead of Papadopoulos. There's no real pressure on Capo there as well from Papadopoulos. So they're all kind of just in their own races right now. But there is some pressure from Kalhauper behind Papadopoulos. Both in AMGs. Pink, yellow, battling for position. As we can see, the last lap board did come out. But we have got 1 more extra one after this. So Heinemann's still leading the way. I'm wondering whether Kalhauper might be able to get past Papadopoulos. You've got to give Papadopoulos a shout out. Will be his best performance so far of the season. A P8 will be a solid 3 points as well. Pitamba, you've got to feel sorry for Pitamba, was in such a great position, but is there Capo got a puncture here as well? I think he's got a puncture, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's devastating here. So both Porsches are going to be out of this race with punctures. And you hoping it's the final lap of the race here for him, but it's not. There's an extra one. And that is absolutely gut-wrenching. Daniel Gregor earlier in this race had a puncture. He's out. And now Ricky Capo as well. Papadopoulos is actually going to move up a position. Kalhauper actually got Papadopoulos. So as we head then across the start-finish line, we're about to get the last lap board back out, and we've got 1 more to go. So here we go, last lap of this race. So Jordan Wallace now moves up into a position to maybe get a point himself, but Pitamba, who's had the wackiest of weekends, I have no idea how he's managed to get himself out there on the racetrack, or how the weekend's gone this weekend, but he's in a points-paying position. So there is a gold pot at the end of the rainbow. Not for Capo, though. Capo is going to be a DNF. He's going to make his way all the way to the pits here. And it's just devastating, really. If this guy didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. And he pulls the car over here, off the circuit. And, well, not a good day at all. Quite the opposite, though, here for Tim Heinemann. As Pitamba and Jordan Wallace were battling for position there. They're battling for that final points paying position. Wallace is actually now up to 10th. So Jordan Wallace, I just saw it past my commentary box up towards the source, and Jordan Wallace now has that final points paying position. So there are still battles all over the circuit. One guy that doesn't really worry about that too much is Tim Heinemann. He's out in the lead. He's in a comfortable position here. 5.5 seconds to go. And well, merely 2 sectors left to go. The number 90, so used to winning in the DTM Trophy. Doesn't matter what car he's driven, he just always seems to have the knack of getting the best out of the car and the team. Pitamba now back ahead of Jordan Wallace as well. So those two are really duking it out there for that P10. As we head then through the S's. Not too many corners to go here. And we are no mistakes away from another race victory. Through the double right-hander. And then it's the loud pedal all the way now down towards the final chicane. And it will be a 5th race victory for Tim Heinemann. It will be a 12th race victory overall for him in the DTM Trophy. An incredible storied history. The most points scored ever by a DTM Trophy driver. He now has the most appearances in the DTM Trophy as well. And he's about to add himself 29 points for the day to his DTM Trophy 2022 tally. Tim Heinemann was worried all weekend. He had no reason to be worried, because once again, he picks up a checkered flag, he picks up the maximum points, and he is superly over the moon. Congratulations to Tim Heinemann. Theo Uverhaus then will finish in P2. Congratulations to him. And Moritz Lohner, with probably driver of the day, picks up a podium from 8th on the grid. Riegel will finish in 4th then, ahead of his teammate from Speed Monkeys, Nick Hanke. Almeida then brings across a trio of AMGs. It's Almeida, Kauhalper in 6th and 7th, and Papadopoulos, P8, best performance of the season so far. Folev, Sterian Folev, he has been out because he was not very well last time out, and the whole summer break he's been really working on his physique, and well, he has got the reward today because Folev is P9, and Jordan Wallace will take a top 10 as well and pick up a point just ahead of Pitamba. Wow, incredible stuff here, incredible racing from everybody concerned. Wow, very interesting indeed. But Heinemann is the driver on everybody's mind, on everybody's lips. Can anyone beat him to the DTM Trophy Championship title? I'm not sure they can at this rate. He is just untouchable at the moment. Sensational drive from him. See Moritz. So Moritz there going to shake an adversary from the sim racing days over the last decade. They've raced against each other now on the real racetrack, and they will both share the podium with a young gun, Theo Uverhaus. As you can see, it's a glorious day here in Spa. Some glorious racing action. And there's some more embraces. We get a lovely little replay here then of the final couple of corners, still trying to maximize lap times. We come around the final corner, slides the rear out, sees the checkered flag, sways left and right, and absolutely deserves that. And it's one step closer to becoming a 2-time DTM Trophy champion. 29 points out of a possible 29 today. 3 points for qualifying, 1 for the fastest lap, and indeed 25 points for the race victory. But there are other stories here to be told. You've got to look at the Speed Monkeys drivers in P4 and 5, both in the top 5. Really good weekend for them this weekend. Here are your official results. Tim Heinemann, Uverhaus and Lohner are your podium sitters. Jacob Riegel and Nick Hanke are your top 5. Almeida in 6th then, and Kauhalper with the BWT Muka Motorsport team are in 6th and 7th. But huge shout out to Papadopoulos, Folev and Wallace. We're going to be back in a couple of weeks in Austria.